Bam, bam, bam. Alright. So I'm gonna make a video saying a couple things about Christ, about Jesus. God's done everything we could possibly think of for us. So why don't we start doing things for Him? God has showed us so many things that we need to know by His wills that we see. When I say this, I want to say, for instance, my dog right here. We're blessed to have a dog. Lay back down, buddy. Lay back down. And our family members that are at work right now, we're blessed to have them. When someone dies, the first thing you do, if you're not in Christianity or anything like that, you turn against God. Why do you turn against God? That's a question. When you turn against God, that makes things worse. When you go to God and ask for answers, He will tell you. The answers is salvation if you are not saved. God will take away somebody to replace a new born. When I say newborn, I mean saved. And all the Christianities, you have to believe in a God, mostly, on most parts. But personally, I'm a Baptist. And I believe in God and Jesus. And the point across of what I'm saying is, when a lover is dead, don't give up. Your lover will be in holy matrimony. Will be always good. Will be famous. Will be in Jesus Christ's house. When I say famous, He's going to be lifted up. Everyone's going to look to Him. Thank God that He's there. When I die, I'm going to go there too. And they're going to look forward to seeing me there. My papa's dead. My other papa's dead. And my family, I mean, don't get me wrong. At first, I was not a Christian. I was just a regular guy, a boy, until I did something wrong and I almost got killed. But God supplied everything for me to get me to where I am. The thing is, I'll tell you a little testament of myself. I was actually was at a place that we have cabin rentals, and there was someone at the place, and which was my Nana and Papa. And I drove back home because it was bedtime, and I was 14 then, I think. And I went home. I left my phone down at the house, and I was like, man, I'm so mad. I was 14, I was cussing. I was like, God, this is terrible, you know. And I was cussing up a storm, and I was driving. And I had a Toyota Tacoma, 2003, straight shift. I started going down that road, and I was all mad and just peed off. You know the other word, but I'm not going to say that because God shows me not to say that. I'm going down that road and man. I was going about 30. I made noises because it makes me remember. I was in third gear, running about 30, 35 on a dirt road, loose gravel. Well, an animal come out and I hit it. First thing I did is I hit it. I started sliding sideways, slid the other way, and just kept sliding. I couldn't get it back. When I did, I overcorrected, and I was only 14. Overcorrected, went this way, hit a bank, and flipped 3 times. No seatbelt. So I flipped, and I turned over, and it landed back on all 4 wheels. I was thinking, oh my, I was just, oh my, you know. I had to keep the front glass, the side glass, what I should say, the side glass out, and crawl out. And the house that I was going to, since I didn't have my phone, this was at about 10 o'clock at night, and I didn't have no lights, and I just started running to the house. It's about 1.5 miles or 2. My eye right here got busted open. My eye was like, this right here was just bleeding down my face. I couldn't see, but I ran to the house perfectly, got there perfectly, showed that God helped me to get there. I could have died. My eye was so bad, I was losing the blood so fast, and my head's right here, and I thought I was going to die. I was like, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. The whole time I was sitting there thinking I'm going to die, so I just kept running. I had no shoes on, and my feet were not hurting afterwards, or nothing like that. I was not in pain. I got to the hospital, and I told them what happened. Everything, there's like, okay, we're going to fix you up and take you and everything. I went back home. I started thinking. I was like, God, why the hell just happened to me? I was just like, why did that happen to me? They said, son, you need to be in church. I thought, well, why don't I try church? Yeah, and I was like, why won't we try church, Mom? And I said, Mom, we need to go to church. She said, son, we ain't been to church in forever. We don't need to go to church. We're all right. I said, no, Mom. We need to go to church. She said, okay, son. And we never went for a little while, and they said, my Uncle Mark and my Aunt Pam, she and him told us, they said, come to our church. Just please come to our church. We came to their church. First thing I seen is a boy. He had a old clothes kind of type deal. And he was all busted up. His face was busted up. His lip was busted, and his eye or something, I can't remember. His lip was busted open. He had a bad 4-wheeler wreck. I was like, man, he looks rough, you know? And I thought that, I was judging. I was like, man, these people are crazy. Why are they at church, you know? I was like, what in the world? This is nothing. This is stupid. Got in that church, it was not stupid. Started hearing a lot of people talking and praising God and just telling me everything that's good in their life. Telling them all their situations and trials and troubles and all this, and started thinking, what could have happened to me? I could have died. I got in that altar and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I cried my eyes out and asked for forgiveness for all my sins. I was saved when I was younger, about 10, I guess. And I thank God every day that I'm saved. But I was at that church, new church, it's called New Prospect. And I said, God, am I saved? Do I need help? God, get me closer to Jesus. I promise it'll all work out. is what he said. I promise it will always work out, and it will work out. So I kept coming to church, and I've been there ever since. My life's changed a lot, and I've got a lot more things than I didn't have. I've got a beautiful girlfriend. Her name's Trinity. I have amazing parents now. Caring and all. They care so good. That's a good thing. Respect your parents too. That's another thing I would like to say. Respecting parents is always the main thing. If they tell you to do something, do it. If they want you to call them, you call them. If they want you on time, get on time. You move out at 18 years old. You ain't got to live there long. After 18, how many more years are you going to be with your mama? Not forever. I want you to say, God help me with what I've done to my parents. With what anything I've done to my parents. If you have done anything to your parents. God will bless you with things so much you can realize, and I've been talking for a while now, so I'm going to close this up and say that I love everybody on YouTube, period. I don't care if you're a hater against God. I don't care. I really don't care. Anything. You're supposed to love all equal. You can hate me all you want, but you're not supposed to hate. I love God. I love everybody, and I hope everyone gets a blessing from anything that I've said. And I hope that I teach people to love God, to show God in their light, to tell them what's going on in their life, to show them that there is things that can happen. There is things that come your way, but keep God there with you at all times.